Hello, everyone. This is Adam with Fear No Evil, back with another Saturday security tip. Today, we're going to talk about road rage. It's getting warmer. We're out driving more. I got my driver's outfit on here, my flat cap, and my cool shades. And so I was just out driving around. I was thinking about this. We just recently had a family discussion. I saw somebody else give some really bad advice regarding road rage that I just had to sit the family down and say, look, we're not doing this. In fact, here's what I recommend. So I thought I'd share some of these things with you to help keep you safe. So road rage happens a lot. People have a certain sense of anonymity. Hey, I said that. And, because they're kind of hidden in all this, they're encased in all this metal and behind the windshield, so they don't really present themselves. They're presenting as the vehicle, so they're kind of like anonymous. They're mobile, they're powerful. I'm encased in armor, and I got this big engine, and I can roam around, zoom around powerfully. So all those things kind of contribute to people acting like they wouldn't act in a crowd on foot in person when they're presenting as themselves. If you think about how people act on the road versus how they act walking around the grocery store, two totally different things. And we'd be calling the police real quick if somebody, you cut me off in the grocery store, and you start shouting and waving, gesturing, right? So, being encased in that steel vehicle kind of lends itself to people acting like jerks. So we need to consider that, because people kind of feel like they have a license to respond in crazy, elevated ways. And so we need to consider how to keep ourselves safe. And first thing I want to talk about is not triggering people. So don't be the one to set off a road rage incident. So what triggers people while they're driving? Well, bad driving, right? Slamming on the brakes in front of people, brake checking, cutting people off. So don't do that. Don't drive like a jerk. And then maybe you won't have people trying to attack you or something. Gestures, when you wave and you don't use all your fingers, that doesn't help the situation. Yelling at people. Horn use, you got to be careful about that. I've noticed that the longer the blast, the more irritated people get. So, people are okay with a quick beep, 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 they were looking down and didn't notice that the light had turned green. They thought they checked their email or something at the red light, and you give them a quick beep or two, and they go, "Oh, okay, it's time to go." No big deal. But when you start laying on the horn, people get progressively more irritated the longer you do that. So keep that in mind. So don't trigger people with bad driving, rude gestures, verbalization, or long horn blasts, and you'll be a lot safer. So as far as conflict avoidance and de-escalation, here's where the bad advice came in. The guy was saying, he was stopped. In theory, he's showing a video. He's inside his car, and on the outside, there's a guy beating on his car, pounding on it, yelling all kinds of things the whole time, and he's just kind of looking down and avoiding eye contact. What was that term you?
Projecting that you're prey.
Yeah, he was projecting that he was prey. This guy's already triggered. He's already acting like a maniac. He's come out of his vehicle, and he's beating on there, and this guy's like, "Oh, you don't see me. I'm okay." Not a good idea. You're just triggering this guy's prey drive. You're making him feel emboldened, like, I got this moron in this vehicle, and he's cowering, and I just need to beat on here some more until I get in there. Not a good idea to not look at the person that is out of their vehicle and beating on yours and acting like a maniac. I agree that it can be a means of de-escalation while you're driving. So you going along on a multi-lane interstate or something, or while you're moving, if there's been friction and you avoid eye contact, maybe he pulls up beside you and he's gesturing and yelling, and you just keep your eyes focused and drive. That can be a means of not escalating. But look, I live outside of Philadelphia, otherwise known as the land of 1,000 carjackings. There is absolutely no way I'm going to sit there while somebody's beating on my thing and yelling, and I'm not going to look at them. That's crazy, because here in the Philadelphia area, people use these things called guns. And so how do I know that this lunatic that has exited his vehicle and is now pounding on my vehicle isn't going to pull out a gun while I'm meekly looking away? Not a good idea. You got to monitor that situation. But first, don't get in it. Don't allow yourself. Let me back up even further. As soon as there's any sign of friction between you and another driver, don't continue going that direction. Take a loop around the block, pull over, something, let them go. So don't continue going down the road with somebody after, whether you were the guy that laid on your horn and gestured, or it was them, whatever the case. As soon as you realize, hey, this has potential to escalate into a crazy road rage incident, separate. Go a different way. Don't continue going down the road with somebody. But maybe you were unaware that you offended somebody and you pulled up at a light. Don't allow yourself to be boxed in. Have an escape route. Don't get so close up on the bumper of the vehicle in front of you that you can't pull out if you need to. A good way to make sure that you can do that is if you can still see the whole back tires of the vehicle in front of you. If that's the case, you should be able to pull out to the left or to the right and get out of there. So don't get stuck. You should have your doors locked, your windows. Most of us have AC these days, so use that. If it's hot out, if you have to have the windows down for some reason, I wouldn't be caught at a red light with my window down enough to get an arm inside. So a couple inches, okay, but any more than that, somebody can reach through and grab you. You don't want that. So what would I do, if I made the mistake of getting stuck and had a maniac come and start pounding on my door and shouting and acting like he was trying to get in? Well, I would hit him with a jerk sauce. So get some OC spray, especially if the window is open a couple inches, and hose him down, and he'll go away, because we don't know what he's going to do at that point. What would I do? A few years ago, we had all these riots in Philadelphia on I-95, and people were blocking the road. It was possible that you might just be trying to travel and go down the road, mind your own business. And next thing you know, there's hundreds of people blocking the road and acting like they're going to pull you out of your vehicle and tear you limb from limb, So what would I do in that case? If there's a big crowd, well, I'd stick some bear spray out the window and hose them down with that and persuade them to go away that way. Definitely, I'm not going to allow myself, especially if I have other people in the vehicle with me, and not going to allow myself to be caught by a crowd of people and just hope that they're wanting to have a conversation with me. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm not stopping for that. So, road rage. Don't trigger other people with offensive words and gestures and bad driving and laying on the horn. And don't be triggered yourself, let it go. So if you catch yourself, you find yourself getting angry, or you think it could escalate, just stop or go a different direction. So far we've been talking about on the open road or at intersections, but keep in mind parking lots can be a cause of road rage too. Gas stations, you pulled up at a pump and somebody else thought that they were going to get to that pump. Well, so if you're at a gas station or at a parking lot and there's some friction, leave. Don't stick around and see, how it works out. Just go somewhere else. Come back another time. Don't stick around for that. So avoid road rage. And that'll keep you safe. If there's anything else I can do to help you stay safe, contact me at fearnoevil.us.